What up, second grade? Miss Carl. Today we're going to be working on main idea and key details. So key details are the important details in a story that help tell us more about what's happening, the characters, or the setting. And then our main idea is the main reason or purpose that the author wrote the story. So our key details help us come up with our main idea because the key details are the main important details of the story, and we put those together and find common similarities between the key details, and we can have our main idea or the main reason that the author wrote the story. So we're going to go ahead and practice that now. So at the top it says, as you read dive teams, think about the main idea and key details. What is the main idea? What do key details do? The main idea is the most important point an author makes about a topic. So again, this is the most important point that the author wants to make. Key details tell about the main idea. To figure out the main idea of a selection, think about the key details and how they are connected. So the key details, we're going to find the key details of the story, which we have done, and then we're going to use those to help us figure out the main idea. So I want you to go ahead, get a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to draw this on your paper. I want you to have a big box that says main idea, and then 3 boxes that are smaller but still big because you're going to be writing, and then arrows that come down that say detail, detail, detail. So what we're going to do is we're going to find 3 key details, and then we're going to come up with the main idea for this story. So go ahead and pause me while you get those materials and while you draw this on your paper. All right, so we're going to go ahead. This is our story on the side, and we're going to go ahead and read it. Dive teams. Each job on a dive team is important. One serious job is using machines the dive team needs. Another job is to repair or fix these devices when they don't work. Gloria is an experienced photographer, so she decides to photograph what the team discovers underwater. So this kind of gave us a little insight into dive teams and kind of what their function. So the one thing that really stuck out to me is how each job on a dive team is important and how everyone has a job, right? It seems that one is using machines. One is to repair. Gloria's good at photography, so she's the photographer. It seems that everybody on the team has a job. And you can see that's highlighted here. Each job on a dive team is important. So I put together the first key detail is there are many jobs on a dive team, which there are. There are many jobs, and it seems that everyone has a job. So I want you to go ahead and pause me as you write this on your first detail. So next, we're going to keep reading. Here's our next part. Teamwork is important for a dive team. Team members depend on one another. They divide up the tasks, and each person helps to get the job done. So I want you to think, based off of that little part of the story, what do you think a key detail is? I personally think that a key detail is that the dive team works together to get the job done. You can see that they all work together to get done what they need done. They each have a job. Everyone knows what their job is. Everyone knows what they're doing, and everyone works hard to make sure that they get that done. So the dive team works together to get the job done. That's the key detail from this part. That's what the key detail is that we pulled from there. The dive team works together to get the job done. So go ahead and pause me if you need to write that in your second box. All right, this is our last little part that we are going to have for our story. Let me copy this and we can put it in here. There we go. All right, here's our next part of the story. Let me read it. Now the divers jump into the water. As they swim deeper, it gets darker. A team member turns on a flashlight. This helps the divers see where they are going. Finally, one team member spots the ship. He uses an aquatic microphone to talk to the team. Gloria takes pictures as teammates measure the ship. Another teammate watches for sharks and other dangers. So it seems that if I was looking at this, that a key detail that I just learned is that everyone has a different job. Because, let's look back and see that, there's one member has the flashlight, one member spots the ship, and then he talks to his other teammates using a microphone. And then Gloria takes the pictures while another teammate's watching for sharks and other dangers that appear in the ocean. So it seems like every member has a different job. They're all being useful and helping. Has a different job. I also think that we could argue that no one's just sitting there not doing anything. One person's not taking on all the jobs. We read from here, everyone has their own job. So I want you to go ahead, and if you need to pause me while you write this, every member has a different job. Every member has a different job. All right, so what we need to do now is look at our 3 key details. Let's reread them. There are many jobs on a dive team. The dive team works together to get the job done. Every member has a different job. So one thing I notice here is that there's a lot about jobs, right? That everyone has a job. There are many different jobs. And I also see that everyone works together so that they can help achieve the goal or the bigger job that needs done. So I think the main thing that we learned, the main idea from this passage is that each member of a dive team has a special job and they all work together to get the job at hand done. So each member of a dive team has a special job, right? We know there are many jobs and everyone has a different one. We have that in our key details. And then they all work together, right? Everyone can have their own job, but if you're not working together, you may not be able to succeed in getting the task or the bigger job at hand done. So if they're going down there to take pictures of a ship, they all need to make sure they're doing their job so that they can get that done. And they all need to work together. So go ahead, and if you need to, pause me to write our main idea. Each member of a dive team has a special job, and they all work together to get the job at hand done. All right, 2nd grade, nice work. So what we did today was we found the main idea or the main purpose or reason or passage or what we needed to learn from the author, right? So the way we do that is we find our key details, look at our key details, what's similar, maybe we kind of mesh them together and come up with our main idea. So as you can see, we read a little story about a dive team. We learned there are many different jobs on a dive team. The dive team works together to get the job done, and every member has a different job. We were able to mesh those together, and we saw the similarities between those key details. And the main idea of this passage was that each member of a dive team has a special job, and they all work together to get the job at hand done. That is the main idea, or is the most important point an author makes or wanted us to learn. All right, 2nd grade, awesome job, and I will see you next time.